EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground. ETN. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Looking to throw. Goal. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll run with ETN. And trying to shake free, but ETN cannot. The defense will stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Aaron Sipas now. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs. At about the 32. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Pickett. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 10. good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now, they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by the crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st down, Gold. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Off the play fake. Gold. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special, because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Gold. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run again with Harris. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one? I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Gold. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And this one is incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Gold. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Gold. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
2nd down and 8. From the gun, here's Pickett. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the final number, pretty impressive courtesy of Next Gen Stats, 21.4 miles per hour. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
This is taken around the 12. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this group, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Pickett looking to throw on second down.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well, think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly. And
he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julie.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
A give running right, ETN.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
first play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB.
That's caught by his tight end, Kylan Granson. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here we go.
The Colts on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Gray. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Field goal unit and Brian Johnson out there.
This from 42 yards out.
Johnson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because it...
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and the Colts pick it up. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills?
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Pickett now from the gun here. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there, pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Harris running straight ahead. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Here we go.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Pickett. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Boswell's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
This one taken just inside the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Set up.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
Here we go. Here we go.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Gray. He's going to let it go again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
Ready, set.
This time they stay on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Pickett. It's brought in by Harris. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They hand this off to Harris. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They run again with Harris. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Pickett will look to throw it here. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Pat Freiermuth, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Gray. He's going to go on top again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And sometimes, I guess, maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back, and essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. First down, and they go back to Harris. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Pickett back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Baker. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw. Pickett. Got an open man. It's Pickens.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action.
Let's go now.
Looking now to throw off the play fake. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy most likely to bring him down. That was a nice game.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end, Freiermuth.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
On the give, this is Harris. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Now Pickett. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown Steelers.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Steelers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Go! Panther 11, Panther 11. '79 Broncos.
Back to throw. Gray. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Colts on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to take another shot here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
60 Maverick! 60 Maverick!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Back to throw again. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. This one completes Alec Pierce. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Again, he'll drop to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Steelers send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 23. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
On the ball, on the ball.
Gray, off play action. And he slings one that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Gray. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here's Gray throwing on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll try the right side with Harris. To about the 26 here.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
2nd and 8 coming up. Here's another carry for Harris. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished.